Hello, and a very warm welcome back to my dear listeners. This is your host Sharmishta, back with the game of illusions that Aniruddha and Sheila seem to be playing with Kiriti. Let's see what they do next. Kiriti and Shashwato had followed Aniruddha and Sheila outside but had managed to keep a distance so that they were not noticed. They quickly got into Shashwato's car and waited. Aniruddha and Sheila were across the street waiting for a taxi. After a while, a taxi drew up and both got into it. Kiriti turned to Shashwato. Quick, follow that taxi. In the taxi, Sheila was asking Aniruddha, won't you tell me where we are going? Aniruddha turned to her. We are going to hell. Sheila smiled. Do you remember, Aniruddha, the time when we had gone to Agra to visit the Taj Mahal? What a lovely experience it was. She continued to smile. Aniruddha looked at her. He gritted his teeth. That smile of hers was so unnerving. He wished he could wipe that sickly sweet smile off her face. In a tight voice, he replied, No, I don't remember anything. The taxi had in the meanwhile reached the crossroads of Shambajar, one of Kolkata's busiest places. The driver turned to Aniruddha. Where to from here, sir? Take that new road to your left and drive to Strand Road. The taxi took a left turn. Shashwato's car followed them a little distance away. The evening shadows were slowly lengthening. In the distance, the lights of the Chowringhee had begun to glow. Shashwato had in the meanwhile begun to get tired. Oof, Kiriti, all we have been doing since the past 2 hours is following them. How much longer? They seem to be simply driving around aimlessly. Have they understood that we are following them? I don't think so, Shashwato. Keep driving. I have a hunch they are going to stop soon. Sure enough, a little while later, the taxi stopped in front of a popular Chinese restaurant. Kiriti and Shashwato watched as Aniruddha and Sheila got off the taxi and headed into the restaurant. Kiriti looked at Shashwato. Quick, go to that taxi driver, show him your ID card, and tell him to come and meet you tomorrow morning at the police station. In the meanwhile, Aniruddha and Sheila had occupied a cubicle inside the already crowded restaurant. Sheila picked up the menu card and smiled at Aniruddha. Allow me to choose your drink this evening? Aniruddha nodded, unable to take his eyes off Sheila's face, mesmerized by her smile, yet at the same time wishing he could wipe that smile off her face. It was unnerving for him. Sheila turned to the waiter. A gin and tonic, please. The waiter nodded and left. Aniruddha asked, Why just one? Won't you have a drink? Sheila smiled again. You seem to have forgotten, Aniruddha, that I don't drink. Aniruddha gritted his teeth. Oof, that smile. Why couldn't she just stop smiling like that? He wanted to reach across and throttle her. He forced a smile and said, So what? I'm sure you can have a drink with me. Without waiting for her reply, he signaled to the waiter. One more gin and tonic, please. The drinks arrived. Aniruddha noticed that Sheila was toying with her glass. She hadn't taken a single sip. What is it, Sheila? Please have your drink. Do you remember the gift you had given me, Aniruddha? A small statue of Cupid made of sandalwood? I carry it in my purse always. Let me show it to you. Sheila was reaching for her purse when Aniruddha stopped her. It's okay. You needn't show me that gift. I remember what I gave you. Why don't you finish your drink? Sheila smiled yet again. I'm so glad, Aniruddha, that you remembered this. I can't tell you how relieved I am. I hope that now you are sure that I am the real Sheila. No, Aniruddha said as he stood up. Sheila stared at him. What do you mean? No. You are not the Sheila I know, and that's my firm belief. I shall pay the bill on my way out. You can go wherever you like. Remember our pact and your promise? Without another word, Aniruddha walked out of the cubicle. Sheila continued to sit where she was, as if turned to stone. Miss Rai? Miss Sheila Rai? Sheila looked up startled. Who? Oh, Mr. Sinha. You? Yes, it's me, said Kiriti. Please come. Where? You need to go back to the mansion, Miss Rai. Even I do. And it's quite late already. We will take a taxi back. And I have a few questions to ask you on the way back. I hope you don't mind. The twists in the tale keep coming, and the jigsaw pieces just don't seem to fit in. A test of wits for our suave detective. Does Sheila hold the key to this mystery? Or does Aniruddha? Let's find out when I return soon with the next episode. Till then,